Yo, what is going on, guys? FLASHVERSE here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 6, and this will be my review for The Flash Season 6, Episode 16, otherwise titled, So Long and Good Night. Before I do the review, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. And obviously, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the episode, you have been warned. Okay, so this episode kicks off with Joseph Carver in his house, and he's with his assistant, I believe. And then we have, Joseph Carver asking Ragdoll to take out Joe West. We then are at Joe's house, and Team Flash are playing Pictionary. And Barry is trying to draw the Eiffel Tower, and he's not a good drawer, let's just say that. And they're probably doing it just some fun activity to clear their head and stuff. And then we have the real Iris talking to Eva, and she tells Eva that Barry could potentially help them get out of the mirror world by phasing those two out from the mirror world. And Iris also tells Eva that Barry is the Flash. I don't know why she would say that, but she did. And yeah, this is getting into Eva's plan. So Eva then asks Mirror Iris to drain all of the Flash's speed. We then have Singh asking Joe to drop out of the case, as this Joseph Carver thing is a very dangerous thing. But Joe denies it, as he is determined in this black hole case. But eventually this leads to Joe's car being sabotaged by Ragdoll, and we see Joe get into a car crash. After the crash, we had Joe explaining how this accident happened to Barry, Mirror Iris, and Captain Singh. And Singh asks Joe to go to witness protection. But Joe is then talking about, Carver being scared, and he claims that scared people make mistakes. So he wants to take advantage of that and doesn't want to go to witness protection. And then Singh's like, I will never forgive myself if something happens to you. And we then had a side story with Ralph and Sue Dearborn, and we have Cisco and Ralph in some party in an investment firm. But we then had Cisco attempting to hack into the security systems and stuff, and we had this woman called January Galore, I think it was, and she stops Cisco, but we actually find out that is Sue Dearborn in disguise. And since we now know about Sue being in disguise as January, could this possibly mean that she was in disguise as January in episode 6, which was the License to Elongate episode, as we saw January over there as well? Could that potentially be Sue as well? Who knows? But the chemistry between her and Ralph is just so good. And we then see Sue, get away from Cisco and Ralph pretty easily. And we then had Joe talking to Sunshine to snake on Carver, but then we had Ragdoll come out of the evidence box and attacks Joe. We then had Ragdoll dodge all these bullets and stuff, which was pretty goddamn sick. And we had him throw one bullet back at Joe as well. However, Barry then arrives, and due to the limited speed he has, he's unable to run fast, that fast, resulting Joe to be being hit by the bullet. We then head to Star Labs, and Barry keeps apologizing to Joe, he's like, I wasn't fast enough, I'm sorry, Joe. And Barry's just talking to Joe to try and convince him to go to witness protection, because Joe almost died because of what happened, and Barry was unable to save him. But once again, Joe denies going into witness protection, and Barry does actually have a very nice line. He was like, we need you, Joe. And I thought that was just, nice. And then we had Joe go into Carver's house, and he records Carver confessing that he tried to kill Joe. And one really sick thing was when Carver used his watch, and it corrupted the audio that Joe recorded, and it deleted it from his phone. And Joe gets next level pissed, and then when Carver starts talking about Cecile and Joe's daughter, Joe just, loses it and he punches Carver. We then head to another investment firm and we see Sue in some meeting, and then Ralph joins in as well. But we then had Ralph find out that Sue is after Joseph Carver as well, due to him blackmailing her parents, and so Sue is trying to investigate Carver. She travels all around the world to do so and checks out Carver's other locations. But Sue does also give Ralph the diamond to look into from episode 12 as well, so Ralph could do his own black hole search as well and help Sue. We then had Cecile get captured by Ragdoll, and we had an amazing Flash versus Ragdoll fight scene. It was so cool. This was the Ragdoll I wanted. It was just so great. Seeing him hide inside the pipes and fighting against Barry. It was so sick. I have to say Ragdoll has improved massively in this episode compared to season 5. He was so bad in season 5. But oh my god, he did not disappoint in this episode. We then had Cecile being attached to some pressure bomb, and then we had Joe save Cecile and take her place. Now, one really intense scene was when Joe took Cecile's place, and the counter dropped down by a minute, and then by the time Barry's trying to reach Joe, it was reaching 1 second. It was so intense. Barry lost his speed on the way as well, but he still continued to go. It was just so sick. But I thought something would happen to Joe, honestly, because Grant did say something may happen to Joe in that video I covered last video. So I thought something was gonna happen to Joe, but thank God nothing did. Joe was able to save himself last second, and it was just so well done. But Joe then convinces himself that he does need to go into witness protection, and he gives his goodbye to some people. And one very unexpected thing we find out is just that Captain Singh is working for Eva, Mirror Singh at least. And it was just very unexpected. I did not see that coming at all, and I'm very interested to see how this mirror storylines will be resolved. But we then had Carver go back to his house, and he gets a mirror as a gift. And then we see Eva talking to him, and their storylines just got so much more intense. I cannot wait to see how this will all go down. Now, in terms of the main villain, I really have no idea who it is. It's between Blackhole, Joseph Carver and Blackhole, or Eva now. It's between those two. If I have to take my best guess, I would say it's Joseph Carver because Blackhole, because Eva is more like a revenge type of person. She wants revenge because Carver is using Eva's technology and taking credit for it, and Eva doesn't like that, so she wants revenge on Carver. That's pretty much her thing. But Carver, on the other hand, he's focusing on that villainous stuff. So that's why if I had to say who would be the main villain, I would think it would be Joseph Carver. But then we had Joseph break the mirror. One cool thing that was there was when the mirror was shattered all across the ground, and we just see Eva's faces in all of them. I just thought it was cool. I don't know why. But the last scene, we had a massive argument between Mirror Iris and Barry, and she just talks about how she wasn't able to see Joe, and she demands Barry to go around the city and search for Joe, and so Iris could go there. But Barry doesn't know where he is, obviously, and he doesn't want to use his speed as well. So then Iris does get very pissed, and she blames Barry for the things that are happening. But then Barry starts getting suspicious about Mirror Iris. Next episode will be Mirror Iris exposed by the looks of it. Overall, this episode was pretty good, and there are some very interesting stuff in this episode as well. And it does pretty much confirm that Blackhole could possibly be the main villain. We still don't know yet. But then also episode 19 is titled Success is Assured as well, which is something Eva related. So maybe in that episode we could see Eva kill Carver, and then she could rise as the villain. I don't know, but honestly, I'm gonna stick to Blackhole. I think that is my pick for the main villain. And I will give this episode an 8 out of 10. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.